Yo, ho. This is the wrong channel. This is the wrong channel. This is the wrong channel. Hey, look. I was about to stop it. Y'all know I give it to y'all raw, man. Pause. But look, I want to give a thanks and shout out to everybody that subbed up to this new channel, Big Kiss News. I appreciate y'all a whole lot. Y'all really exceeded my expectations. Super exceeded my expectations. I thought I was gonna have like 30 subscribers. Y'all got us to 700. I appreciate that a whole lot. I really appreciate that a whole lot. But we about to get into this video. Shout out to Professor Lex Hip Hop. Examinated. I will leave a link in the description. This is Kendrick Lamar, Man at the Garden breakdown, lyrics explained. Y'all know until I reach 1,000 subscribers, I can't go over 15 minutes. I cannot go over 15 minutes. When we get to that 1,000, I'm gonna start going live. You know what I mean? See if that'll make a change. I'm gonna start going live on this one. You know, as soon as we hit that 1,000, we going live all the time. So yeah, y'all going I appreciate y'all for subbing up. You know what I'm saying? Without further ado, let's get it.
Let's get into it. Man at the Garden, lyrical analysis, and why 2024 was the year of Kendrick Lamar. All right, let's get right into it. Man at the Garden. Now, you know how we do. Let's start with the title. Man at the Garden has a couple of meanings. Now, I heard about the J. Cole meaning. People saying that it references J. Cole performing at Madison Square Garden. I think it has zero to do with that. I know Kendrick is talented, but I doubt he had that much foresight or really cared about referencing that in this record. But somebody did perform at Madison Square Garden in 2023, February 24th to be exact, and that was one Nasir Jones. It was his first time performing at Madison Square Garden in his 30-year career, and was seen as a marquee moment in the career of one of the greatest MCs, if not the greatest MC.
That's fire. That's fire. I can't do too much pausing because we ain't got nothing, but we can't go over the 15-minute mark, or I'm going to have to delete whatever I go over.
MC of all time. Now, Kendrick Lamar takes the inspiration for this song from Nas's original hit, One Mic, which is one of many Nas's pivotal records in hip-hop history. Go stream it and you'll understand why. Now, the second meaning I take from Man at the Garden is Kendrick throughout this record is saying why he deserves the accolades he receives and the position that he has in hip hop and throughout his career. So in a way, he is explaining how he has achieved heaven on earth, aka the Garden of Eden, hence the title Man at the Garden. Let's get into these lyrics now.
I'm gonna say one thing. The Nas One Mic, it started slow and then it built up. Man at the Garden start off slow, then it build up. Ain't nobody safe. Don't play with me. Don't you save me. Then he starts stacking his vocals. It's both a build up. I love those build up tracks, just like Auntie Diaries.
Of course, there's not a lot of underlining meaning to the lyrics. The lyrics are pretty straightforward, but when he references certain things, you know, I'll sidebar and talk about what he's referencing. Let's get into it. So we start. Verse 1, twice emotional stability, sound mind and tranquility, I deserve it all. Like minds and less enemies, stock investments, more entities, I deserve it all. Now let's start. The first line, twice emotional stability. Again, Kendrick always references being a Gemini, so that is more a reference to that and him having a dual nature, being a Gemini. He references that a couple more times throughout this record and of course throughout the whole album. And that, of course, emotional stability brings on a sound body and tranquility. Now, when he says like minds and less enemies, I think he's alluding to leading a transition in mindset throughout hip hop, right? Hip hop has always been based around your enemies and the set and the ops and all those things. And he's saying like minds and less enemies is what he not only wants to be surrounded by in his personal life, but he's also purveying and portraying that message throughout his music and the moves he makes, like the pop-out concert, etc., to move the culture in that direction where it's less oppy and less adversarial and more togetherness and cooperation throughout. And then that would lead to stock investments, more entities, right? Cooperative economics, etc. Then he leads into more of what would be gained from that like minds, less enemies attitude when he gets into the VVS White Diamonds. GNX with the backseat reclining, I deserve it all. Put my homies on the beachfront, flying private, what you eat for lunch, I deserve it all. The respect and the accolades, lamping on the island watching Castaway. Now that's a dope line right there because he's referencing the movie Castaway, which is about a Tom Hanks character being trapped on the island and not having a great time. Of course, Kendrick is juxtaposing that to...
See, I never seen Castaway. I seen like a little piece of it, Tom Hanks waving. That's the only part I've seen. So okay, all right.
Lamping on the island and watching Castaway, right? Then he continues, for every good ninja that passed away, sent 2.5 million on an average day. I deserve it all. Keep my name by the world leaders. Keep my crowds loud inside of Ibiza. I deserve it all. More money, more power, more freedom, everything heaven allowed us. I deserve it all. Now, of course, the heaven allowed us is a direct reference to the garden reference in the title, Garden of Eden, etc. Now, throughout the battle, Drake's fans and Drake himself questioned Kendrick's intentions and tried to put his intentions as an artist, as a person, under fire, right? So Kendrick is directly answering those questions and making it clear that he does give back. He does take care of the families of the fallen people from around his community. Now, the Ibiza reference, now if you watch my video, if you've been here for a while, in 616 in LA, I explained what Ibiza is and the island and the dedication to the music god Best, et cetera, et cetera. That's why that island is known for kind of big festivals and big party music. That island literally is kind of a dedication to music in general, right? So just go check out the 616 in the LA breakdown on this channel, Lyrics Explained, link above at the top of the screen. Now, there is one theory out there that I saw that Kendrick is rapping as Drake in the first verse, J. Cole in the second verse, and himself in the third verse. That theory, I do not give credence to. I think he's just rapping as himself. I think a lot of fans of Kendrick, or maybe fringe.
In 616 in LA, people were saying that he was rapping as Drake in the first verse. Was it the first verse? Yeah, I think it was the first verse.
Fans of Kendrick just don't understand that he is not his public perception from the outside. And there's this idea that conscious rappers cannot like jewelry or cars or be, for all intents and purposes, normal. But that's a misnomer. And yeah, I think that's what that theory is based in, but I don't give credence to it. So let's continue. Now in verse 2, I think Kendrick is starting to separate himself from his peers in general when he starts, because my intentions was pure, even when you wasn't sure, even with every allure, how much temptation you endured, you'd probably look for every cure. I said, I deserve it all. I'm waking up at 6 a.m., 6 miles a day, conditioning my wind. I said, I deserve it all.
Hey, that's my
I'm showing up.
Hey, yo, that's my part right there. I'm waking up 6 a.m., 6 miles a day, conditioning my wind. Look, yo, that is hard. People don't even know how to get up to 1 p.m.
Up as your friend, telling truths better than your next of kin. Now, that whole line right there, not only is he talking about how he goes about getting himself ready for his life and his career, but he's also talking about his past experiences, not only shaping his approach to the opportunity his career has given him in life, but also him not being afraid to face up and fess up to the mistakes he's made throughout his career and through trying to navigate being a rap star. You know, he gets brutally personal throughout records like Mr. Morale, To Pimp a Butterfly, really all of them when you get down to it. You know, I believe that's why he says, I'm showing up as your friend, right? So when he continues, I never asked for too much credit, seeking validation just for the aesthetics. I deserve it all. I see you as a human first, even when you didn't understand your worth. I deserve it all. It's innate to mind my business, writing words, trying to elevate these children. That's why I deserve it all. Pray for those who prayed against me. Every reason why my ancestors sent me. I deserve it all. Now, there's a fan theory that he's rapping as Drake in the first verse and he's rapping as J. Cole in the second verse. I'm gonna be honest, in listening to both the messaging in those verses, I don't see how you think that, especially the second verse is J. Cole or the first verse is Drake, really. That doesn't really fit their character. Not saying anything bad about their character. Well, not saying anything bad about J. Cole's character. Now, of course, there are some similarities between all three artists. I mean, they do the same thing for a living, but I don't think Kendrick had them in mind when he was rapping. I think he's expressing the different sides of himself, and that's why he starts and now will continue with the references to the duality in his nature of being a Gemini. So now we get into the third verse. Put a smile on my mama's face, good health, good karma. Yeah, she deserves it all. 100 meals out in Compton, remember me, I kept my promise. We deserve it all. A better life for my daughter, made my son take it further than his father. Yeah, he deserves it all. A close relationship with God, whisper to me every time I close my eyes. He says you deserve it all. Now, what I will say is, if you want to break the song down in 3 parts, this just came to me right now while I'm doing this. The first verse is him talking about his career and his perception of himself throughout his career as the rapper Kendrick Lamar. The second verse is about his relationship with his fans and the listener. And now the third verse is about him referencing his relationship with his family, his community, and God himself. Because in these next bars, it's like he more starts a prayer, because this is when the music turns up, all right, it gets more intense, and his tone and delivery gets more intense. So after he says, a close relationship with God, whisper to me every time I close my eyes, he starts to pray, keep these weak ninjas away from me, keep all my blessings faithfully, keep my essence contagious, it's okay with me. So there, again, he's talking about having that influence over the game and over the people who listen to his message. Now he continues, I burn this place down. Don't you play with me or stay with me. I'm crashing out right now. No one's safe with me. I did it with integrity, and then just still try hate on me. Just wait to see. More blood be spilling. It's just pain to me. Now let me stop right there. Now this is, to me, a continuation of that.
That's my joint. Watch the blood spill. It's just paint to me. Cool.
Album of Whacked Out Murals, and the messaging in Whacked Out Murals, Kendrick is explaining why he's on the type of time he's on. I think a lot of people in the industry seen what he did to Drake in the battle as a little bit harsh, because they wanted Drake to continue and the messaging of Drake to continue to reign over the game, so to speak, right? And that doesn't just go for the artist, that also goes for the people in the corporate and just in the industry as a whole, let alone the fan bases. So Kendrick is explaining that, understand that he's serious about this transition. He's serious about his position in the game, and more people will not go along or agree with this transition. So that's what he's saying. Understand, I'm on the type of time where when anybody steps up against me, they will be getting it. His approach will not change to defend what he deems as his mission. So though he's talking to us through the record, he's also letting us into his prayer, so to speak, right? So in a way, this is a confession of mindset. Now he continues the verse, dangerously, nothing changed with me, still got pain in me, flip a coin, want the shameless me or the famous me. That's that Gemini talking. How annoying, as it angers me to know the lames can speak on the origins of the game I breathe. That's insane to me. Shout out to Fat Joe and all those weirdos. It's important, I deserve it all because it's mine. Tell me.
He right along with that. Yep, he right along with that.
Why you think you deserve the greatest of all time. And then he adds a MFer, so you ignorant Negroes hear him. Shout out to Lauryn Hill. But in the end there, right, he's expressing his frustration with the game, his frustration with the dual sides of the game, as well as the dual sides within himself, right? And how it's perceived by people. You know,
you gotta look at not EPMD. Damn, what's their name? Damn, I'm bugging. Flavor Flav and which I can't think of their name right now. They was militant. They was actually, working on themselves, fight the power movement and all that. They wasn't with all that. That's what Professor Griff had a beef with Flavor Flav for. We can't be representing this, and you over here doing that. Nah, bro, public enemy. Damn, I couldn't think of it for nothing. But yeah, we creeping up on that 15 minutes, y'all. I will leave a link in the description. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Professor Lex. And yeah, bro, I'm out. Big Catch signing out. That 15 minutes getting close.